If you are looking for something new and different for the upcoming Compliance Week celebration in November, check out The Compliance Kids. It's my 3-book children's series on compliance and compliance professionals for children. But they make great gifts and great training tools for your employees. You can check it out on Amazon.com. We've linked to it in the show notes. The Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. Join us as we explore the latest trends from the Department of Justice, share some best practices, demystify complex compliance issues to help keep your organization doing business ethically and in compliance, and at the end of the day, more profitably. Tune in daily for your dose of compliance wisdom. Let's make compliance a little less daunting, one tip at a time. Now a word from the sponsor of the Compliance Podcast Network, Ethico.
If you're a compliance officer, middle managers are crucial in getting your programs from you to your frontline employees. But how do we activate those managers and get them on our side? Ethico's new Middle Manager Toolkit equips you with the skills needed to empower your managers, to promote a culture where ethical behavior thrives and employees feel empowered to speak up. Learn how to turn frontline managers into ethical leaders with our new white paper, Empowering Middle Managers as Ethics Champions. And did I mention you can get the whole toolkit for free? Head to ethico.com to download the full toolkit today.
Today, on the Compliance Tip of the Day, we consider why putting profits over compliance is always the road to disaster. For TD Bank, it started at the very top, where the most senior executives of the bank decreed that no additional funds would be made available for compliance updates, or new technological solutions designed to fulfill the bank's compliance obligations or even make them more efficient. This funding strategy was termed a flat cost paradigm, and it was across the bank's operations. As a result, the bank, quote, willfully failed to remediate persistent, pervasive, and known deficiencies in its AML program, including failing to substantively update its transaction monitoring system, which is used to detect illicit and suspicious transactions through the bank between 2014 and 2022, despite rapid growth in the volume and risk of the bank business and repeated warnings about the outdated system, end quote. The bank only monitored 8% of its transactions because that's all the resources it had. And between 2018 and 2024, it did not monitor some $18 trillion worth of transactions. So what are the takeaways from all of this? Well, if your spend on compliance drops over a 5-year period, it's a pretty clear sign you're not committed to doing business ethically and in compliance. You're committed to chasing the god mammon. If your headcount decreases, it's the same, but you must increase your headcount to meet new and emerging risks. And always remember that compliance requires continuous evaluation. There's a reason you engage in continuous monitoring. It's so that you can continuously monitor the effectiveness of your compliance program. And here, TD Bank didn't have the resources or personnel to do so. Indeed, from 2018 to 2021, the bank's actual spend on compliance decreased. So when you have a decrease in spending and you're growing, not exponentially, but certainly with robust and rapid growth like TD Bank did, you are going to put yourself in a position where the bad guys can steal money from you. They can launder money from you. Your own employees can take advantage of you through fraud or other nefarious means. If you're going to drive 90, you better make sure your brakes are working. And TD America had no idea if it even had brakes on its speeding car. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The Compliance Tip of the Day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network. Finally, this podcast contains promotional materials.